So I read Pokemon Adventures and I loved it. Like, it has a good feeling to the series in the manga, and I read 40 chapters of the first arc, and I got a lot to say about this manga. I don't have the manga, but I read it online, so I read it in Manga Fire, so it would be more easier to flip the pages than rather going up and forth. But anyway, this story is basically like the games in the anime, but it has dark tones, and also, like, if you heard about this manga before, like, you already know it's quite opposite than the anime and the video games. Like, the anime didn't like follow the manga, but this manga, like, literally, hold on, I almost burped there. But what I'm trying to say is this manga has been ongoing since the 90s, like, literally, like, it has like, it's like 64 volumes, and the 65 volumes are supposed to be coming out soon, and it's heading to the Sun and Moon arc. Well, saga, if you wanted to call it that. Well, I have been watching videos that this manga hasn't got an anime because, like, there's like Ash's manga, because at that time when I was a kid, me and my sister loved Pokemon when we were kids, and we still love it today. And also is what got me into anime. But to me back then, I didn't know what anime was. I thought it was a cartoon until years later when I discovered Yokai Watch. Both Pokemon and Yokai Watch is what got me to my manga and anime journey. But what we're here to talk about is my review on the manga. So basically, this protagonist is Red. Like, he meets the professor's grandson, who's named Blue from the video games, and they are like rivals, and he ends up beating the professor, like with Ash being the professor in the anime. But it's quite different because the professor thought he was a thief and was about to turn him, but he accidentally, well, Red accidentally knocks over the Pokemon balls and frees all the Pokemon. He has to catch it. And Meow actually shows that as a cameo, but I think it was a different Meow, not the Meow from Team Rocket. We don't see those until later on. And I mean, we don't see them until later on. On this epic journey, when Red meets Brock and Misty, who are actually gym leaders, and Brock is like one of those characters who needs the protagonist or anyone else to be worthy for him to fight. The way they fight, like, they do it like what the Pokemon do in Pokemon Battles, like in the anime, but in the manga, it's kind of like one of those anime fights you see in manga and anime. And Misty, on the other hand, is like the way she is, but she starts nice at first, and then she goes in her tough side. And they both try to like defeat Red, but he ends up defeating them and earning their badges. Then later on, during his adventures and shenanigans, he ends up coming across two, like, he ends up, in the first chapter, he ends up crossing with Team Rocket, and later on he meets them again to face them, including the Catboon, who he traps them in the cave, but later on he escapes. Then we end up meeting two of the first Team Rocket trio before Jesse, James, and Meow, which were they were also gym leaders, but we'll get to that in a bit. It's most likely focused on Ash. I mean, not Ash, but it's most likely focused on Red in his adventures. Like, the way they like go around with these shenanigans, and also leveling up his Pokemon, and he actually meets Pikachu later on, but Pikachu is not the friendly version we see in the anime, but it's like the serious, well, not serious, but annoyed, or could be like, but he does become nice later on, but both good and bad. So let's see. Oh yeah, he also comes across, like, there's a thing with ghost Pokemon, his Pokemon being switched with Blue's Pokemon by accident, when they button each other and grab each other's Pokeballs without checking it was their own Pokemon. But luckily they switched back out of the battle. And and he accidentally captures the queen of some Pokemon, like giant Pokemon, to try to kill him. But these plant Pokemon look like chompers that eat flies, nearly try to kill him like a ritual, which they never show in the anime. But luckily, Ash with a robotic bird was able to outsmart them, and they were easily defeated by the giant Pokemon before he captures the plant Pokemon and uses it against the giant Pokemon. Also meet the other one of the gym leaders, who is part of the first Team Rocket trio, who is controlling these ghost Pokemon. That there was one scene of the duck Pokemon that is known to everyone, that these Pokemon are actually zombies rather than ghosts, because the way they show those scary moments where they actually melt into ash. Like, it's one of those things like in the Sailor Moon manga where they show those gory scenes with the skeleton, but they never actually show it in the anime. I could see why. But they were able to defeat him, defeat his Pokemon before continuing on their journey, which he also meets Blue again. Like, he usually meets Blue twice in his adventure. And also, he also meets a girl named Green, who is actually a thief who stole his medals, most likely to scam him for selling him cheap items. Then he ended up but disguised as Team Rocket to find her, and he saved her from being captured by Team Rocket. Then he also meets the scientist, who is also a gym leader. Well, I think he was a gym leader, but let's say that she ends up giving back his medals, and she goes away with this thing. But speaking of Team Rocket, these scientists were not scientists, but Team Rocket was actually searching of an ancient Pokemon that came before the existence of Pokemon, which is the little guy you saw in one of the Pokemon movies, and also the other guy who he fights against, which we will get into a bit. Let's just say, okay, so after some time during his adventures, he usually returns back to I just call it Pool Town, not pool, but Pool Town. He finds out that Team Rocket actually took the whole city and surrounded it with the barrier and actually take over the city, the town. And I forgot to mention that the girl who met Red is named Green, and Red, Blue, and Green ended up having to go breaking the barrier and also just defeating these Team Rocket members. And before that, I forgot to mention that Red also meet another gym leader who is this Japanese girl, and he didn't even know he captures this other Pokemon. I forgot the name of it, but he explains that she can multiply to three forms of electricity, fire, and water. And he was able to capture her, but they end up find out what happened and why she was being experimented on. But it was a test of his loyalty and bravery. And she ends up giving her badge to him. Then this is when they all came together. Apparently they ended up crossing over with the Team Rocket trio, and those guys literally beat them up until Red and Blue were able to outsmart and defeat them, including Green, who outsmarted the girl who usually controlled this ancient Pokemon with the 3 ancient Pokemon birds, which the badges, I also forgot to mention that the professor that Red met betrayed Team Rocket, and Red was able to save him from them, and he given his badge to him. And after a long battle with after a battle against the Team Rocket trio, Green puts all the badges together and realized these badges could actually boost their Pokemon and fuse the Pokemon into this form with a bird with 3 heads. And the leader of the Team Rocket trio uses it to attack them, but the gym leaders actually like fight against Team Rocket, like the goons of Team Rocket. Well, Red, Blue, and Green were able to defeat the ancient bird and defeat the rest of the Team Rocket, including the trio. Then we meet the professor again, who is actually trying to warn Red that the ancient Pokemon that was experimented on, like to create something as ancient on their own, had escaped, and now they're going to destroy. Like, I forgot the name of this ancient Pokemon, so I just call him Maestro, or Maestro, because Maestro is the name of the Marvel villain, who is like the Brotherhood of Mutants, but I just call him Maestro. So Maestro is like this overpowered villain, and his ancient weapon is like a spoon. Like, literally, he uses a spoon to fight against Red and his Pokemon. But luckily, like, he was able to capture, like Red was able to capture him with this ancient Pokeball, or Master Pokeball, and the professor, like, he helps the professor walk as they went back to the town. Then Determined came, and this is where we meet all the characters he met in his journey come together to want Red, Blue, and Green, and the professor. Well, the professor that Red met in the beginning of his journey are taking place in between two battles against each other. But the professor ends up winning against Green, who later on reveals that Green is a lost trainer. Like, she doesn't remember who she is, but she now knows who she is. Then he, like, forfeits the tournament, only wanting his grandson Red to fight against each other. Then this whole battle scene was like epic. Like, I never seen anything like it. And Red ended up winning in the end. And this is how, like, they all came together. Like, 3 of them came together: Red, Blue, and Green, with their Pokemon, who evolved. And I actually like it. Like, I really love the ending of the first arc, because, like, it got me so excited, like, to see the other Pokemon masters, trainers, and all the characters coming together. Like, it's a shame that this hasn't become an anime. And I enjoy watching and reading Pokemon. And also, I really hope that Pokemon Adventures will get an anime adaptation in 2026 for its 30th anniversary, along with Yokai Watch coming back from a long break, because usually Yokai Watch is having, like, it's going on hiatus until everything is, like, fixed. And also the Miraculous manga is also came back from hiatus, like a 2-year hiatus. And now I realized there was 40 chapters, and also the 4th volume is actually releasing next month in November, like earlier, like November 4th. But enough of that. Let's just say that let's just say I love this manga like the rest, because it reminds me of the other manga I read. So yeah. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I'm talking to myself. So what do I think about this manga? I give it 5 stars, because, well, 5 stars as awesome, because you guys should give the Pokemon Adventures manga a go. Like, read it. Whatever you could read manga online, like with Fire Manga and anywhere else, go read the manga right now, because this manga, it's definitely what everyone wants to get an anime adaptation one day, because everybody would love to see these characters, including these Pokemon, like, see the actual version of what Pokemon's supposed to be, because since Ash's journey is over, and also Pokemon, the other Pokemon anime is still ongoing, Ash's journey is already ending, which means the anime of him is already over. And also the other Pokemon spin-off, I think, or a new anime, is already, like, still ongoing, but it's reaching its final. I think it's reaching its final, but it's still in the flashback arc, like with Berserk in the beginning arc. But Pokemon Adventures definitely needs an anime adaptation. So tell me what you guys think. Oh wait, I didn't show any pictures, but Tell me what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell to get notified for new videos. And I'll see you all in the next video. This is Iron Angel.